So today we're going to be doing some snake play. Or certainly some parts of snake play. So if you haven't already, you might want to have a mat or something like that so that you're comfortable going down onto the floor or onto the ground with these practices. A lot of it will also be done standing up, but there will be times when we will be going down onto the ground. So the snake, or certainly the way that we're going to be doing snake within these practices, has a strong relationship with the water element. So the organs that specifically relate to the water element are the kidneys and also the bladder. And so if you think about where the meridians run that relate to those organs, we have the bladder meridian, which runs right from the front of the head right down the back, either side of the spine, and then down the legs. And then the kidney meridian, which comes up the insides of the legs. So we're going to get a lot of stimulation through these areas. In particular, snake does strengthen and loosen the back, the spine, a lot. And it also does a lot to increase the flexibility and also the strength of the hips, knees, and ankles. And these are some of the areas that those meridians run through. In addition to that, it's not just about strengthening and loosening things. Ideally, we get this feeling like a snake of the whole body. If you think of the characteristics of a snake movement, the whole body becomes one fluidly moving unit, everything linked together and flowing. So we'll talk about and explore some of those things as we go through some of our practices. The snake practices can be quite challenging in a number of different ways. So we're going to be going quite slowly, quite gently, so that we can do this safely and hopefully work to increase our mobility and our strength rather than maybe damaging anything in the process. So if anything feels like it's too much or not a good idea, by all means, take a break from any of those parts of the practice. And I'll also look at some ways that you can make some of the practices a little bit more gentle for yourself as well. We'll begin just with some basic warm-ups if we put our hands together, and we'll do some joint rotations just to get everything moving through our whole body. And the other way. And out the elbows. And the other way. The shoulder, big circles through the shoulder. And the other way. Other arm. And the other way. The waist. And the other way. the knees, and the other way. The ankles, and the other way. Other ankle, and the other way. The neck will tilt forwards, back, and forwards, back, and forwards, and back. Then we tilt to one side, and the other side, one side, and the other side, one side, and the other side. Coming to the center, releasing your hands, and we'll just twist side to side, just gently loosening through the whole body. And then we'll come back to settle in the center. So we'll take a few moments to sink into our posture. So have your feet shoulder width apart. Just sink down, gently down, so you feel like you're sitting down into your posture. Back straight, neck long, shoulders open, arms loose at your sides. We'll take some moments to tune into our body, our breath, and our energy. So see if you can be aware of your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis, your abdomen, your chest, your back, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your head. Be aware of your whole body. And also tune into your breath. Feel the movement of the breath through your whole body. Whole body expands as you breathe in, just gently, and then sinks and contracts as you breathe out. Make your breathing a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller. Feeling the movement of your breath through your body. And the subtle, gentle movement internally from the breath helps to open and release. It allows the energy to flow more freely. So you might start to feel and be a bit more aware of your energy flowing inside you. Deep, relaxed breaths. Bringing your hands together. Breathe in. Raising your hands up, your center line. And breathe out. Lowering them back down. Breathe in. Rising up. Breathe out. Lowering down. Breathe in. So we're centering our energy. Breathe out. Helping to line it up. Breathe in, balancing left and right. Preparing ourselves. Breathe out. Some of the other movements later on, which are going to activate our energy a bit more strongly. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. So this time, breathe in, bring your hands up to halfway in the center of your chest. Breathe out, open your hands out. We'll breathe in, bring the hands back through, palms facing up and opening to the sides. Keep your palms facing all the way up, and we'll just breathe naturally as we turn to one side and then turn to the other side. And we feel an opening outwards as we go from side to side. So all the way through the legs, through the spine, through the shoulders. The gentle twisting movement creates an opening outwards. Helps to prepare our joints, our connective tissue, but also specifically our nervous system. Opening it up so the energy can flow freely through it. Keep those palms facing all the way up as we twist gently side to side, feeling the opening outwards. And then we come back to the center. Breathe in, raising your hands. Breathe out, backs of the hands touch as we dive down. Then the hands form a scooping shape. We breathe in, palms facing up, lifting up, all the way up. And breathe out, opening down to the sides. We breathe in, raise the arms. Breathe out, backs of the hands touch as we dive down. Breathe in, hands form a scooping shape, lifting up. And breathe out, opening down. Breathe in. Breathe out. So as we come down, there's a gentle outwards pull from the spine to each side of the spine. And we breathe in, standing up, and we draw energy up through the spine and release as we breathe out. We'll do a few more of these. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, we lift up. And breathe out. Two more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Change the other side. Change. 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 Last one. Change. And lower our hands. So I'll add one more detail about the snake before we get into the practices. So we are going to concentrate very much on the qualities of the snake within our movement, within our energy. We can also think a little bit about the emotions that relate to this. So the water element relates specifically to the emotion fear. And when we're fearful, often what happens is we pull our energy in. And this creates tension into our back from pulling inwards, and also tension into our hips, drawing inwards here as we try to pull in to protect ourselves. In the snake movements, we open up through the spine, we open up through the hips. And this can be one way of releasing fear. So as you do these practices, you might, somewhere in the back of your mind, want to have some awareness of this, of releasing fear that may be causing you to hold inwards, trying to protect. In order for us to do this well, we need to go gently, because if you try to open up too quickly and you're releasing fear, you might have a response against that and go, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I want to close in. So we're going to try to go very gently into these and see if we can gently open up these areas, particularly through our spine, through our hips, through our knees, through our ankles, and so on, so that in the end we have more confidence, and then as a result of that, more flow. So something else you can have in the back of your mind, as well as focusing on the characteristics of the snake. So the first movement we're going to do, we'll bring our hands together, bring them up, and this time we lace our fingers together and press upwards with our hands. And we're going to twist. So it's going to be a little bit of a different twist from the one we just did earlier. Twisting side to side with our arms up. So now, as well as, there is some twisting of the spine and so on going on, you might notice particularly that there's a gentle twisting, stretching pull through the muscles and tissues on the outside of the body, and in particular down the sides of the body. So you can think of the body of a snake, how smoothly every part of it moves. So its spine moves very smoothly, but also all those muscles around its spine, around through its whole body, also move very smoothly. So we're preparing some of these muscles down through the sides of our body by twisting side to side, so that they're all going to move freely and smoothly together. So we'll come once more to each side, so twisting to one side, and then twisting to the other side, coming back to the center. We're now going to get a bit of a wave-like motion going all the way through our whole body, just like a snake. So we're going to lower our hands. It's going to be a rolling motion. So to begin with, we simply lower down, and we keep lowering down, coming down as low as is comfortable for you, just where is comfortable for you. Don't go any further. And then we reach out, away, and come up. So we lower down, and again, if you can go all the way to the floor, do that, go all the way to the floor. But if you can't, if you find that actually here is as far as is comfortable for you, that's fine. From here, reach your hands out, away, and come up. And then we lower down. And whether you reach all the way to the floor or not all the way to the floor. Ideally, what you feel as you do this is we start to feel this fluid rolling movement right through our whole body, and of course particularly through our spine as we start to open that up, get it to flow and move freely. Lowering down. We feel the spine start to roll, come out forwards, up and away. Lowering down. We'll do a couple more of these in this direction. Starting to free the spine, make its movement fluid. Up and away. And one more. Lowering down. Out, forwards, up, and away. Now we're going to change directions and roll in the opposite direction. So now we reach forwards, and then as we come forwards, we gradually lower down. And at the bottom, we lift our palms facing upwards, coming up, close to the body. Reach the hands up, come forwards again. If it's not comfortable for you to come all the way down, just go to wherever is comfortable for you. This is fine. And you'll still be opening up that rolling movement through your spine. Go gently. If as you continue, it becomes easier for you to go further into the movement, you can go further into the movement. But go gently, gently, gently with yourself as you gradually open and release, opening up the spine. Continue to breathe, deep, relaxed breaths. Just let the breath flow naturally through these movements. We'll do a couple more in this direction. Rolling forwards and up. And one more. Forwards. And up. So once we've come back up to the top, now we're going to change our direction of movement as well. We're going to get some lateral movement happening, sideways. We're going to come right through the circle, a rolling movement. So we come out to one side, just again, as low as is comfortable for you. And we come back up to the top. We'll go the other way, nice, gentle and slow, exploring the movement, gently opening up, coming through, up to the other side. So go to however low is comfortable for you. So I'll demonstrate doing that, not going so low. So even if you don't bend so much, even if you just come through here and up, you're still going to be getting the activating and opening through the sides of your spine, just more gently. You're not pushing it through quite the same range of motion. But if you're able to, see if you can make that movement a bit bigger. And as we do this, we feel, well, particularly the opening up through the sides of the body, through the sides of the spine, gently opening so it can move more freely with that lateral portion of the movement. And we'll go the other way. Again, breathing deep, relaxed breaths, letting the breath flow freely throughout the movement so that we're not bracing our body, we're letting our body move smoothly through the movement. Opening up through the sides of the body. And particularly we notice it in the spine, but to some extent this is also opening up through the arms, through the sides of the legs as well. We'll go once more each direction. And the other way, last one. Okay, from here we bring the palms of our hands back together and bring them down to the center of our chest. Now I'm going to move to the side of my mat for the next movement. We're going to be extending out to one side. So we're going to really, so a lot of our movement so far, it has been working through the whole body, but particularly through our torso and through our spine. We're going to start to work with the legs quite a bit more in these next movements. So I'll do it not too low to begin with, and then we'll go lower. So what we do is we sink, bending our knees. We turn one hand down. And then as we continue to lower that hand, we extend one leg out to the side. So I'm going to do this in quite a high stance. From here, we open our arms out and we reach in one direction. So we're leaning our body out to the side that the leg is extended. Our hand comes up, over, and we then transition through and come through, hands together and looking out, reaching out one direction. We lower the hand close to the extended leg. We reach out. We turn our leg through. Hand comes up, over, and we reach out to one side. So again, I'll do it in a high stance. We lower our hand. We reach. Our hips turn through. So we're opening up through the inside of our legs where the kidney meridian runs. Our hand comes up, over, and we extend through. Once more in a high stance, and then I'll go a bit lower. So we reach first. Now turn the hips. Bring the arm over and through. Now just go down as low as is comfortable for you. But ideally as we come down, we want to come so our hand is hovering just above the floor. If you have to do it higher, you can continue just as we've been doing. But if you can come down, this is where we want to come to. And again, we reach first and then move through, transitioning the hips. Our hand comes up, over, and we extend out. So we lower the hand, the other hand stays high, it's close to the ground. We reach. So as we reach, we're opening up through the inside of the legs, but we're also opening up through the spine. And then we turn the hips, extend through. Bring the hand up, over, extend out. Lower the hand, close to the ground. We reach, then extend out with the hips. Arm comes up, over, and through. Lower the hand. We reach first, then turn through with the legs. Come up, over, and through. We'll do once more to each side. So the hand lowers down. We reach. The hips turn through. Arm comes up and over. Lower the hand. Reach. Extend out through the hips. up, over, and through. Okay, coming back to the center. The next movement is a twisting movement. If you want to do this very gently, you can simply stand like so. We're going to put our hands, so both palms are going to face downwards. One hand is going to sit back by our elbow, and it's actually going to slide along our arm as we turn, then it's going to slide the other way. This is what we're going to be doing with our arms. So if you want to do this very gently, you simply stand nice and relaxed and turn, and as you turn, the arms naturally slide and you twist to look behind you. We come back, turn, arms slide so they're connected to each other, and we twist behind, extending those arms behind. And so we're creating, it's quite a specific twist that particularly comes down through the muscles of the back, down into the lower back, stimulating the kidneys. We can do the same thing through to the other side. Part of what's happening, because we're keeping the arms linked, it means that we engage the whole body more. We don't disconnect it, just let bits go, but it actually makes our shoulders and the rest of our body move into the twist. So you might find that you feel it much more strongly through some of these parts of the body as you do this. So we'll do it once more in this gentle way, and we'll come back. And then if you want to do it in a more challenging way, what you do is you come down onto the ground. You can place your knee on the ground, and then you twist behind. We come back, turn, change to the other knee. So you can stay standing up if you want, or you can try it this way. Twist behind. We get this strong twisting through the muscles of our back, particularly down to our waist where our kidneys are. And we twist. Come back through. Twist. We'll go once more to each side. Breathing deep and smooth. Feel the opening through your back, through your waist. Twist. And then we come back to the center. So the last movement, this is our warm up for snake. We keep our hands, palms facing down. One hand sits back underneath the elbow of the other hand. And we simply sway. So you can think of this hand as being like a snake, swaying, bobbing its head. And as we do this, because we've prepared our body, we've opened, we've really got things moving, you might feel there's this coiling that comes all the way through your body. Even just with this very small, subtle movement, we feel the coiling come up through the legs. In particular, we feel it in the waist and the lower back where the kidneys are. And then up through the body, through the shoulders to the arm. So we change to the other arm. We slide our arms across each other. We sway. And so we start to tune into that fluid connection right through the whole body. Everything moving, very fluid, very free. And then we lower our hands. So these movements, they open lots of things up. They start us to have this fluid connection through our body. It prepares us to move into some of the snake play. We're going to do some of this, just some of it, and we're going to do it very gently so we can work into it gently. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, very important to work gently into some of these practices so that we can open up, we can release fear rather than building fear, and open up our body with confidence. So the first movement, we're going to work to get down onto the ground. This is a big part of the snake play practices, to be able to come down to the ground and then back off the ground very smoothly, very fluidly. So we're going to step our leg out in one direction, and then lower our knee down onto the ground. And then quite simply, we'll stand back up. Nice and easy. Hopefully no straining doing this. We'll do it nice and gently. So we kneel back down, put the knee down, and then we stand back up. A simple movement like this, it actually does require quite a lot from our hip flexors, from our lower back, and so on. And so this is a gentle way to start opening those up, getting them to work properly. One more time, lowering down onto the knee, and then coming back up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work to loosen and open the inside and the outside of the leg to make everything more fluid, to move more freely. We do need to go gently with this to begin with. So we come down just as we did, putting our knee on the ground. And now if we're able to, or as much as we are able to, we lay our ankle, the inside of our ankle, down onto the floor. You might not be able to do that straight away, but turn it over as much as you're able to. Then we come back up, so it's on the ball of the foot. So again, we lay the inside of the ankle, and this means it stretches right from the inside of the leg all the way down to that ankle on the floor, and then we come back up onto the ball of the foot, releasing any stretch that we may be feeling there. We'll do this one more time. Lay down onto the inside of the leg, and then come back up. So next we want to do the same thing to the outside of the leg. So from here we tuck our leg under to the other side so that we are laying on the outside edge of the foot. And then we come back up to the center. So tuck the leg across. You're probably going to sit back a little as you do this, and then bring back onto the ball of the foot. One more time, tuck across, and then back onto the front, and we will stand up. We'll try that on the other side, preparing, and then we're going to take that further into going all the way down onto the ground. So stepping out with your other leg. So to begin with, simply lowering down onto the knee, getting the hip flexors, the muscles in the lower back working well together, then rise again. Come down onto our knee, and then come back up. One more, down onto our knee, and coming back up. Now we'll come down onto our knee and turn, so we lay the inside of the ankle, the inside of the leg on the floor, and then just release that, coming back to the neutral position. Lay down inside of the leg and release. One more time, lay down and release. We'll try going to the outside of the leg, so we tuck under, we sit back a little, come forward, come back to neutral. Tuck under, outside of the foot, outside of the ankle, come back to neutral. One more, tuck under, and come back, and we'll rise. Okay, so this time we're going to try going all the way down to the ground. We'll do it gently and slowly. So step out with your other leg. We'll come down to the knee. So essentially we're putting all of this together. First we'll turn onto the inside of the leg. Then we'll turn onto the outside of the leg, swinging the leg under. Now we're going to lower ourselves to the ground. If you need to use your hands as you do this, that's fine. Ideally, we simply sit back. So now one leg is tucked under in front of us, much like as if you were sitting cross-legged, and the other hand, the other leg is out straight. From here, we'll rise up So again, you can use your hands if you need to help you up, or ideally we simply come forward and rise and then turn the foot out. We come all the way back up again. We're not going to do too many of these because we don't want to strain things, but we're going to try a couple more. So we come down, knee, inside of the leg, outside of the leg, sit back, use your hands if you need to sit back. Same thing, use your hands if you need to come up, come forwards, inside of the leg, and rise. One more on this side, knee, inside of the ankle, outside of the ankle, sit. And then again, use your hands if you need to. Come up, inside of the leg, and rise. We'll try with the other leg. Sink to the knee, inside of the ankle, outside of the ankle. Use your hands if you need to, sitting down. Use your hands if you need to, sitting forward and up, inside of the leg, and rise. Down to the knee, inside of the ankle, outside of the ankle, sit down, sit forwards and up, inside of the ankle, and rise. One more. Knee, inside of the leg, outside of the leg, sit down, sit forwards and up, inside of the leg, and rise. Good, 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 good. Someone's jumping up and down there, feeling good about themselves. That's good. If that was challenging, that's okay. Again, take a break if anything's too hard. This next movement, we're going to do another movement down on the ground. So if that was feeling a bit hard for you, you can just feel free to just sit down on the ground any way you like to get into this. But otherwise, ideally what we'll do is the same thing. This is how we'll sit down. This is a nice smooth way to sit down. I need to shuffle myself forward a bit. And from here, what we do, this leg that's straight, we now tuck the side so the knee sits beside the other foot. So essentially we have, similar to what we were doing before, one leg, the inside of the leg is on the floor, the other leg, the outside of the leg is on the floor. So we kind of got both happening at the same time. And now we're going to switch between those. So we turn over and we turn to the other side. Again, if you need to, you can lean back on your hands to make this easier. So you can lean back on your hands and then turn through on your hips. Ideally though, you'll sit up without using your hands. So we'll do this nice and gentle. Turn across to one side, opening the hips. We're also doing a lot of work around the abdomen, around the lower back, those core muscles as people refer to them as. And then we turn back to the other side. Once more this direction, turning out to the side, and then turn back to the front. If we want to change and we want to go across to the other side, what we do, this leg, we bring to a cross-legged position, and now the other leg, we turn out. So we're in the mirror position on the other side, and we turn through, and turn back. We turn through and turn back. So you can probably feel it opening up through your legs. We turn through, and particularly also through the spine as we do this. And turn back. From here, if we want to stand back up, we simply take one leg, put it out straight. We're now in that same position we were before, one leg straight, one leg tucked under. We can use our hands if we need to help us up, or we can simply rise Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. So if someone jumping up and down there, again, excited they're able to do it. So again, very important with these sorts of practices that we do want to go slowly, gently to begin with, so that we don't overstrain things. And it is likely, even if you have gone slowly and gently, that afterwards, later today, maybe tomorrow, you may feel that you've really worked some things. And that's okay. Just go gently with yourself. And if you want to improve that, come back and practice some more gently another day. And little by little, it will get stronger and smoother. Now, so snake play. We've put some parts together. There are a few more parts that help us to play really smoothly with it. We're not going to do all of those right now because, again, we do need to go gently and slowly. I'll give you a little bit of an idea of how they come together, though. So we might be snaking along like this, nice and low to the ground, and then we come and we very smoothly can transition through on the ground in different directions. And so it's like a snake coiling and twisting on the ground very smoothly as we move. And whenever we want to rise, we simply rise. And so we have the smooth transition up and down off the ground, whole body flowing together. So that's kind of the direction we can take with that as we develop over time, and we develop this fluidity and strength right through our whole body. For now, though, we're just going to calm our energy down, balance it out as we come towards the end of our session. So standing nice and relaxed, turning your hands up, breathe in, raising up, breathe out, lowering down. Breathe in. So bringing energy up through the sympathetic nervous system. Breathe out, down through the parasympathetic. Harmonizing yin and yang. Breathe in. Calming, relaxing our energy. Breathe out, helping to integrate any of the lessons that we've learned into our nervous system, into our energy. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more, breathe in. And out. We'll do a little self-massage to further settle things through our body. So hands into the lower back, massaging in circles over those kidneys. Those kidneys have had a bit of a workout today. You probably felt with a number of those different movements, the sort of stretching, pulling and opening, squeezing, massaging of the kidneys. It'll take a little bit of time to take care of them, settle them, calm them down if any of it was a bit hard. Now patting down the back, outside of the legs, up front, inside of the legs, up the inside of one arm, up the back of the arm, out the inside of the other arm, up the back of the arm, over the face, over the head, over the neck, down the back, up inside, up one arm, the other arm, over the face, over the head. We'll come down one more time, all the way around, coming up. And we stop at the waist. Bring your hands in front. And let the energy settle. Okay. We will, we've got a few minutes. We can have some discussion. I am going to allow people to unmute themselves. There we go. So if anyone has any comments they would like to make, any comments, questions, observations, as I mentioned at the beginning, these can be quite challenging practices. And it's okay if some of them were difficult, important not to force yourself, but hopefully going slowly and gently, little by little, you can develop so the physical capacity of your body, which then flows through into how your energy flows, because the two are connected. Sometimes people like to think of them as like completely separate things, but the energy of your body is very much connected to your physical function. And so improving your physical function helps the energy flow. And that's why also the other way, when we work on our energy flow, it has a flow through to affect our physical function. All right. Does anyone have any comments, questions, anything like that?
That was hard.
That was hard. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's okay for it to be hard, but not to push yourself too far. If you need to take it gently, if you need to take a break, you take a break. Hopefully you can build it little by little.
Right, it's very interesting, and if you've recorded it, it'll be good because I'll go through it again. Because it's not in any of your books, is it?
No. So this is part of a set of practices working with different animals, and all of them are more physically challenging in different ways. The nature of them is that they are more physical practices, but that can be a very good thing. Sometimes you might choose that you want to do a more gentle practice, and that's fine. But it is good to challenge yourself physically as well, as long as you do it in a gentle, progressive way, so you don't strain yourself. There's a lot of benefit to it. So Cosmina says, great practice. She missed the smooth part. You missed the smooth part? Oh, goodness. Well, we'll see. Maybe she'll have more smooth part next time. Oh, Cosmina, so Lisa says, the easy part is what I miss each time. Well, again, I didn't say this was easy. It's challenging. Of course, it becomes easy as you practice a lot. Things get easy when you practice, but you do need to go slowly, gradually.
In every video I was reviewing for our discussion, I'm thinking every time, oh, this is easy. Every time, I'm like, oh, it's easy. Really?
Little by little, gently. So Rita says it was very hard at first. She says it was very hard at first, but it did become easier with reps. And that's good. So again, as I mentioned, even if it started to feel easy, you may feel like parts have worked quite hard later today or tomorrow or anything like that. So just take care of yourself, be gentle, but hopefully don't let that put yourself off too much. If you do feel quite worked, come back to it, work on it gently again, and little by little, the capacity will increase. Aaron says that was a quantum. Sorry, what's that?
No. Do your chat.
Okay, yeah, I'm just reading them. So Aaron says that was a quantum leap in understanding. Thank you. So hopefully that was good. Even if you've practiced it before, hopefully there's some details that maybe help you to understand and work on it better. So what was that? You had something to say, Janice?
Oh, I couldn't even do the bit of putting my knee on the ground, even though I was holding on. I had my rebounder beside me, but that it doesn't work yet.
Doesn't work yet. So something you can do to make that even easier, if it's something you do want to work on, is you can. So like you said, if you have something that you're balancing on, that can be great. You can use this to sort of support you as you come down. But you can also do some work so that your knee doesn't have to go all the way to the ground either. So this is some cushions, you might have something a bit higher than that, maybe, but you can then practice simply coming down onto it and up as a way to work through that first initial part, and until it becomes easy, and then you can go lower and so on.
Yeah, I've taken a picture.
Great.
There's one thing as we're stretching. Can you hear me? As we're stretching the inner thigh, I don't know how it is where you guys are, but while I was in Europe, the massage therapists, they were not afraid to massage your inner thigh. But here in the States, nobody will massage your inner thigh. They're just afraid to touch you. So you might need to find somebody who's helping you to relax your inner thigh, because there's a lot of tension in it.
Yeah, so very important meridians that flow up through the inside of the leg and the inner thigh, and also so related to this. So there's a couple of reasons why people are hesitant to massage the inner thigh. So one is to do with just you know, awareness of not touching in somewhere that might be considered inappropriate, and the other is big blood vessels that come up and down through this area as well. So there does actually need to be a fair amount of care taken when massaging through these areas so that you don't traumatize those blood vessels. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good thing to do, because of course these are very important. We want them to open, and so yes, a massage can be good, but also that's part of the benefit of this type of stretching and opening. It's a way to open up these areas that do sometimes hold quite a lot of tension, which, you know, then affects the energy flow, the blood flow, and so on. So Lisa says she wants to do frog next. So has anyone seen any frog?
No. Show us.
So I've never seen what you would consider to be truly a frog qigong style, but there's some frog kung fu, which is quite ridiculous. And I'm not going to show you, but basically it does involve having the legs out and splayed in the arms and essentially jumping like a frog. So if you want a physical challenge, that'll give you it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming along, everyone. I hope it wasn't too a challenge. It's okay to have a challenge, as I said. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Hopefully everyone did go gently if you needed to as you did things. I see Rita's got a comment here which I'll read before we finish. So she says, passive yin stretches open this area of the leg and connecting muscles to lumbar spine, not forced stretches, breathing into passive poses. Yep, that's true. Some of those passive stretches can be really good there as well. This of course, with a snake, it's a much more active way to work through these areas, but it can be good to do some passive stretching too. Okay, thanks everyone. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thank you very much.